I burped. Did you hear it? Here, I'll do it again. Did you hear that one, Johnny? All right, so the one thing about the PS5 generation, like there's been a lot of changes in the games industry this generation. Yeah, AI's running around everywhere being a dastardly, goofy little villain. Prices just keep shooting up because of the AI bros. Oh goodness, AI bros, thank you so much for shooting all the prices up. Really appreciate it. We keep getting absolutely stupid spec sheets for new games, like this one for Batman, and this one for James Bond, and this one for Assassin's Creed. Like, AAA gaming is not in the most amazing place right now, but in Sony's case specifically, it seems like out of all the first party like console developing studios, like, you know, first party game studios that also have a console and sell that console on first party exclusives, Sony definitely seems to be struggling in the first party exclusive camp the most, mainly because they just don't fucking put anything out anymore. How far did I get into the video without swearing? How low is that timestamp? Because, I mean, I can go lower. But, like, the state of first-party PlayStation game output, I guess, is pretty sad. And, like, you can talk all the smack you want about first-party Xbox or first-party Nintendo games, but at least they're coming out. It seems like whenever PlayStation puts out a first-party game, it's either live service garbage that nobody wants, or it's a single-player game that is extremely divisive and doesn't hit sales expectations. All the while, Sony is just jacking up the price of fucking everything in their ecosystem. So it's like Sony is gaining a lot of confidence in their first-party output while putting out even fewer games than ever before, which is a bizarre strategy. Cotton. We'll see how it works out for them. And I mean, if recent reports are to be believed, Cotton, it's not working out for them. Cotton. What's that sales dip they've had since the PS5 price hike? Ooh. That sure is a lot of percentages. And listen, I'm not a fan of exclusive games. I think console exclusivity is a very dumb, very outdated practice that should have gone out of style around the time that Bomberman went out of style. But I just find it fascinating that Sony's strategy up to this point has just been, we're going to milk the fuck out of our first party studios. We are going to get a whole bunch of first party studios, make a whole bunch of exclusive games, and we are going to sell our console on the value and like the fun factor of those exclusive games. The console itself is going to be complete dog shit, but the games are going to be so good that you have to buy the console. And for a while that worked for them. But it seems like in the PS5 generation, the mindset has been, okay, let's keep the console itself as complete overpriced dog shit, but also let's try a new thing this time around. Let's release no fucking games. Let's build our entire brand around this one selling point and then just delete the selling point. Gosh, Johnson, you get a raise. And by raise, I mean my penis in your butthole. Because there's no possible way that actually works. And now fast forward to 2026, and yeah, there's no possible way that actually works. What's that? The consequences of my actions? I don't know anything about that. I'm Sony. But I bring all of this up, and I do this very lengthy intro. I've been recording for 7.5 minutes at this point. This was supposed to be like a 60, 70 second intro, and here we are 7 minutes in the recording later. But I bring all this up because it seems like the main criticism of Sony this generation has been, hey, you are putting too much money into things that people don't expect from you. Or you're putting excessive amounts of money into things that you are already providing perfectly fine and did not have to overinvest in. Things like pretty graphics. You were getting pretty graphics before. You didn't need to invest an excessive amount of additional money into that, because you were already getting that. People feel that Sony is investing in the wrong things, and they're not giving you enough first-party games, which was the whole reason you bought the console in the first place. But now, here comes Sony in May of 2026, and they're just one right after another, just headline after headline, reassuring you that they don't have a fucking clue what you have been saying. They straight up are not listening to you. It's not even that they hear you and they're not doing it. The only explanation is that they literally just put their fingers in their ears after they do something. Because it is currently May 11th, and over the last like 4 days, it has just been headline after headline of Sony doing things that literally nobody asked for, instead of doing the one thing that people did ask for, which would be, you know, more games, better backwards compatibility, not jacking up the price of a nearly 6-year-old console again. And just to like really hammer it home just how little they care about you, they are doing all of this in the name of, wait for it, AI. They are not listening to their consumers, but they are listening to the AI bros. Just how much are they listening to the AI bros? Oh, baby doll. Let's go through it. On May 8th, The Verge publishes a report called PlayStation Sees AI as a Powerful Tool to Make Games. Studios like Naughty Dog and Santa Monica Studio have already adopted an AI-powered animation tool, which is really funny that they named those two studios specifically. Like, yeah, guys, Naughty Dog and Santa Monica, they're already using AI to streamline development. Oh, great, because Naughty Dog and Santa Monica are just cranking out games right now. They're both just cranking games. Thank God for AI. Like, dude, just listen to this. One example with the tool is called Mockingbird. It can animate 3D facial models using performance capture data, and Sony says Mockingbird is finishing animation work that previously took hours in a fraction of a second. Great, where are the games? Like, oh golly, mister, AI sure is making games much easier to develop. It's making them it's making it way faster to develop stuff. It's so quick now. Okay, where the fuck are the games, Sony? Like, where are they? You name dropped Santa Monica and Naughty Dog specifically. Two of your most highly funded studios that don't do anything. And you're like, man, these two studios, they're doing so much work so quickly. By the way, we're raising the price of your console. Okay, well, I mean, where's the fruits of your labor that you're doing so much quicker now? We can't show you that. But you know, more money, please. So that's nice. That's real considerate. And I've seen some people say that, listen, it's okay for Sony to be investing in AI because they're not using generative AI, you know? They're just using AI to streamline parts of the game development process that would have had to be done by a human, you know? They're literally, like AI is only being used to streamline things. It's not being used to generate content. Well, wait just a minute there, buckaroo, because also on May 8th, PlayStation launches Generative AI collaboration initiative with Bandai Namco. Ooh, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. Hey, you know the thing that people really fucking hate in games now? That being generative AI in game design, which is not only entirely obvious when it's there, but also is just inherently insulting because games cost more than ever to buy and consoles cost more than ever to buy. And yet here come the companies making games literally just putting things into a chat GPT prompt. Like, guys, we have to raise the prices on you because development just costs so much now. Development costs so much, so we have to raise the prices on you guys. We're so sorry for raising the prices. Everything just costs way too much. Also, we are literally just putting prompts into a text box to make games now, which means no, it is not more expensive. It is less expensive and less time consuming than ever before in human history. But also we're raising the prices anyways. Go fuck yourself. I am so glad that I've been out of the console ecosystem for as long as I have been. This is fucking retarded. Oh, I'm sorry, can I not say the R word? The dreaded R word? Ooh, rabbits. And ravioli, and ragu, and retards everywhere in the games industry. I don't care anymore. And the irony of what I just said is that if I get flagged and demonetized, it's gonna be because of an AI model that heard me say the dastardly R word. But, you know, that's nice. That's nice. Sony sees AI as a powerful tool for game development. Development on the games that they just don't release. Sony and Bandai Namco are now doing a big AI collaboration for the games that Bandai will release, because Bandai has no problem releasing games on a regular basis. Sony is apparently just not taking notes over there. Like, that's really what gets me about this. Bandai Namco is one of the more, say what you want about Bandai Namco as a company, like business practices, quality of games. I have plenty of criticisms of Bandai Namco as a publisher in terms of just quality. But in terms of like consistency of just getting games out the door, Bandai Namco is one of the better AAA publishers out there, just in terms of getting things out the door in a reasonable amount of time. So I find it fascinating that they are now bumping uglies with Sony for AI. Like, what was that meeting like? Sony and Bandai get into a room together and Sony's like, guys, listen, Bandai, you're really good at getting games out the door. Like, how do you do that? How do you get games out the door? And Bandai is just like, yeah, we just do it. And Sony's like, wait, so you mean like you invest in your studios and then you keep an eye on your studios and they get games out? And Bandai's like, yeah. And then Sony's like, man, so your profit margins must be pretty high because, you know, you put a lot of games out. Some of them hit, some of them don't, but you're putting a lot of games out. So there's a lot of opportunities for the consumer to buy the games. And Bandai is just like, yeah, that's what being a game publisher is, Sony. Thanks for spelling that out to me. And then Sony's like, okay, what if we went into business together? And Bandai's like, okay, what do you got in mind? And Sony's like, okay, well, here's the thing. We suck ass at putting games out, and we don't want to do any work. So, like, what if we came up with some, like, generative AI thing? Because AI is what all the kids are talking about. And Bandai's like, And then Sony's like, no, keep listening. So, like, what if we did a generative AI thing, you know, together, you and me together? Because there's just so much beneficial, like, profit to be made by hitching your wagon to AI right now. And Bandai's like, And then Sony's like, yeah, no, because we can get more games out if we just use AI. We're already using AI to get more games out, which is why we haven't gotten any games out. And Bandai's like, yeah, whatever. We'll sign the thing. Stop bothering me. Like, that's the only way I can see this having played out. When Sony and Bandai announce an AI collaborative effort, I'm sorry, I just don't believe Bandai is doing any of the work here. I think this is a group project where they just put their name on it kind of situation. Because out of all the AAA publishers in the industry right now, Bandai is one that probably needs generative AI the least. And yet here they are. And to bring it back to the first article that I brought up, this one, where they say that AI is a powerful tool, the way that they're using AI, not to use the R word again, it's retarded. Like, people have been waiting over 5 fucking years for the PS5 generation to start cranking out those first-party games people love so much. People have been waiting almost 6 years for you to get your act together and start pushing out the first-party games that they love so much. And instead, in the middle of 2026, you start talking about how you're going to use AI to do hair animations, dude. Hair animations, my god, that's exactly what we needed. Because, you know, my biggest problem with PlayStation's first-party output at this point has been the fact that the hair just doesn't look good enough. That's been my problem with it, right? Like, diggity dog. No diggity, no doubt. Nobody wants to hear shit like this. Like, that's what kills me about the whole thing. It's like, what was wrong with the structure of, hey, we have these studios, they make these games. People like those games, we keep funding those studios. What was wrong with that structure? Seriously, what was wrong with that structure? Why do we need AI thrown in there? The problem with that structure in the modern day is nothing about the structure itself, but rather the lack of frequency in that structure's release schedule, and that lack of frequency, everybody knows, comes from mismanagement from the top down. So why are you investing additional money into AI instead of just investing the same amount of money as before with better leadership? I don't even know how you get to this point. Naughty Dog used to reliably put out a game every other year. Leadership changed, and now they don't do that. AI is not going to fix that because it wasn't a problem until leadership changed. Do you understand what I am saying right now? Also, Joe, game development just takes so long right now. No, it doesn't. How else can Capcom get new games out every like 9-10 months? Because they don't fucking care about garbage like this. Which, speaking of Capcom and AI, I love this quote. Because when Nvidia was using RE9 as a selling point for their dog shit generative like upscaling system, I forget what it's called, DLSS 7, 8, I don't pay attention. I don't use upscaling. I don't give a fuck. I don't want it. So I don't know off the top of my head what fucking number they're on. You know, fuck me for wanting games to just play natively. But I love this headline that Capcom was actually perfectly okay with the backlash to the new DLSS because the backlash means that they got it right the first time. Is this not the most telling thing in the entire industry right now? What are we doing? And like, listen, can AI be a tool? Yes, of course it can be a tool. I feel like I've been very consistent about this. I actually have no problem with AI being in game development, assuming it is being used in the way that it actually is good for. Cause like, yeah, there are ways that AI can streamline game development. If you can have AI help you with bug detection and like combing through your code to fix said bugs or like optimization hiccups, I legitimately have no issue with that. I encourage that because as the paying customer, I pay X amount of dollars for a new game, and I expect that new game to run well. If you want to use AI to ensure that that game is running well, I have literally no problem with that at all. Because like with the amount of games that come out nowadays that just run like trash, fuck it, I don't care. Use AI to optimize the game. I don't care about that. Do it. Because at that point, you are using AI as a tool to make the product I am paying for and that a person came up with, you are making that product better for the price that I am paying. And I think a lot of people have that same mindset of like, look, we don't want AI making the game. We want a person making the game, because partially because it's very obvious when it's made by a person and when it's made by an AI. But also, just like if you're going to use AI to make the game, drop the price of the game. Because if I can just type a bunch of prompts into ChatGPT for free in 5 minutes, why am I paying the same price as a development studio that put like hundreds of hours, thousands of hours into actually creating the thing? That just inherently feels wrong. So make no mistake about what I'm saying here. I have absolutely no problem with AI being used in game development as long as it is not being used in the actual creation of the game. In the fine-tuning of the game and the optimization of the game, I openly encourage that. Because yeah, a computer is going to be able to tell you exactly where your optimization woes are. A computer is going to be able to look through the code and tell you, hey, here's what's wrong, here's where you can improve, and here's how you can improve it, because I'm a fucking computer and I speak the language of computers. But that's not where anybody is actually using AI, because we're talking about generative AI. And also, at the same time in which AI is being more heavily used in game development, system requirements are looking like this, and like this, and like this. Like, what are we doing? How is it possible that the industry is embracing AI to such a degree, but not embracing it in the ways that AI embracing actually makes sense for this industry? Listen, I want the games industry to get better. And I feel like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, a lot of us were thinking the industry was on the way up because it seemed like a lot of major companies were losing so much, and it got to the point that it seemed like the only way for them to get things back on track was to listen to the consumers. And if you go back and you watch my videos from like a year and a half ago, that was my attitude. And I really did believe that. But then between then and now, the AI explosion has just made things so bizarre. And I feel like it's just prolonging the AAA crash that needs to happen. Like, these practices and these ideals and these CEOs and these executive ideas of what needs to be done in the AAA industry, these things are so heavily ingrained into the AAA industry that you can't fix it unless all of it goes away. That's why people like me openly encourage a AAA crash. Because that's we are solidly at the point where that's the only way you fix it. This is not a problem that's going to be fixed if you just change a couple C-suite people or you change a couple business practices. The whole thing needs to go away, because I don't even know how you can have a company as large and as valuable as Sony, and as dire straits as Sony in terms of their gaming division, in terms of their PlayStation division. They are losing so much fucking money in that division. And yet, they seem to be just doubling, tripling down on the exact things that got them there. Like, how the fuck do you fix that without burning the whole thing down? I don't think you can. So, anyways, I'm a little all over the place right now. There were several big stories that happened over the weekend that I wanted to make videos on, but then I ended up just wanting to talk about the state of the industry more generally. Because, I mean, the Switch just raised its prices. Sony did all its AI shit. Apparently Forza leaked early on Steam, but I just don't care about car games, so I'm not actually I'm not actually sure how big of a story that is, because I personally don't care about car games. And I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about Paulsbo, Washington. and Enumclaw, Washington. Not to get too personal here about these two random ass towns in Washington. I spent a lot of time in Paulsbo. I goddamn love Paulsbo. I spent a lot of time in Enumclaw. I fucking love Enumclaw. Last time I was in Paulsbo was in early 2020, I think, or I think late 2019, because I was living in Bainbridge. That's a different part of Washington that I love. I had an apartment in Bainbridge, but my cousin lived in Paulsbo. So we would hang out in Paulsbo a lot. And then recently, I don't live in Washington anymore. I haven't lived in Washington in a long time. But one of my cousins from Enumclaw, he came out and visited me. We were just like reminiscing about the times we would just go fucking hiking in Enumclaw. So I just recently been like, man, I miss Enumclaw. It's a fucking beautiful place. I think Washington makes a really solid case for being just the most naturally beautiful state in the country. It is so beautiful. And then I'm reminded of this one random time that I went this is a completely random anecdote. I one time went to because my dad grew up in Enumclaw, but when I was in like I don't know, I was probably like 13, 14, my dad and I went to Enumclaw. My uncle, my dad's brother, we went to go golfing in Enumclaw, but we were there early, so like we go to a McDonald's, get some fucking egg McMuffins, just like, to kill 30 minutes before we go to the golf course to meet my uncle and my cousin. And we're sitting at the table, we're drinking coffee, we're eating egg McMuffins, and then this guy just walks up to my dad, and he's just like, hey, like, I'm not gonna say my dad's name, I'm gonna give my dad a fake name. For the sake of this story, my dad's name is Jorgiston, and he's just like, hey, Jorgiston, man, haven't seen you in forever, man. And my dad is like, oh, bro, I haven't seen you in so long, man. Like, oh, that's crazy, I think like we're just on this trip with my son to go golfing with my brother, and like it's so crazy that we saw you. And the guy's like, oh, dude, Jorgiston, I remember you, Jorgiston. You were like the big baseball star at the high school, Jorgiston. Like, oh man, it's so crazy that I ran into you, Jorgiston. Oh, that's so crazy, bro. So glad you got out of this town, but like I'm still here, that kind of like random like small town kind of thing that like if you grew up in a small town, you know what I'm talking about. Like, oh, you got out of the town and made something, but like I'm still here and the town's still the same, bro. And my dad's like, yeah, bro, oh, it's crazy. And then he leaves. It was probably a pretty short interaction, probably like a minute-ish, like a minute or two. And then my dad just kind of goes quiet after that, because I was expecting him to turn to me and be like, oh yeah, that guy was like this guy. Like here's these stories about that guy, because clearly that guy, like clearly me and that guy knew each other. Here's some stories about that guy in this town that we're in. But my dad just goes quiet, and I ask him like, hey dad, who was that guy? And my dad just looks at me and he's like, I don't know. He's just like, listen, Joe, I don't know. So anyways, that's my story about Enumclaw, Washington. Fuck. Doofus Club time. Biscuit 101, Jerf, Zombie Killers 5072. That's new, right? You changed it? Am I gaslighting myself? 5072. That's a different number. That's a different fucking number. Don't fuck with me right now. One Man Savage, Wannabe Hobo, Grimsy, Roseblade, Mechanical Resonance, Jake Spider-Man, Community 1984, hashtag Bill Joe Baggins, Bo Lancaster, Blaster, E14, Jimmy Chavez, Moist Man in the Panel Van, QB, Nate, Oracle, Drift, Bandit, Max, Killer V2 Gaming, Sick Rider, Muskie, Biogenesis, Cloaked, Onyx, Blood, Bowler, Habis, fucking Blue Hook. God damn it. Blue Hook. Fuck Blue Hook. Partial mean 8 Jack Kennedy. Oh my god. Lolly. What? Lolly Teikoku Banzai? Lolly Teikoku Banzai. I feel like it's just a meme at this point for you guys to put things on screen that are references I don't understand. Like, this feels like a reference. This feels like a reference to something. I don't have the slightest clue of what it's a reference to, but it's too specific to not be a reference. I'm losing my mind. Platypui Hensusui. Fuck. Henthai Billet 310 Char. Avatar Steven is the chosen earthbender of Disquete. Game of Dead People. Gamer 127 YT. Chris Void. Fall 97. Hyperactive Turtle. Grimm's Official Drags. Guida Harpeggi. For Curbside Anthem. Mayo Setsuna. West of Rex. Iron 6. Slick Click Flicks of Blu-ray discs. Y'all, Curbside, I'm so excited for y'all to hear the new Curbside Anthem song. I'm so excited. I am so excited. Like, the song is done. we're just waiting to release it because we need like an album art for the fucking single. Like there has like the album art for the single just has to be approved by the publisher, and the publisher's taking a long time. But I'm so excited for you to hear this song. Fuck, it's so good. It's so good. Not to suck my own cock 78 times, but the new Curbside Anthem song is so good. Delta 169, Baron von Vodaham, Unicorn Rocco, AI is slop, makes Microsoft, Kushka, Doug, needs to smile, dirty making the boys. 13 dozen eggs, step bro. It's a hard nug life, no payoff, Vector, Vanilla Archie, Sick Nick, Mad Fox 94, Exchange Induction, Broken Crown, Pop Off the Backing, Pope Raphael, the Rat King, got PS5 underwear so I can enjoy shitting my pants fast. Dennis, Klepto Penguin, JoJo 6, Moldy Master Killer, Tom Unknown 1867818, Charlie the Unicorn, Charlie Mountain, Candy Mountain, Charlie Cave, Edge Shadow Bear 1799, Betafon 2, TJ Biscuity, Non Vola, High Volk Soto, Snake Eyes 327, MK2396E, X Machina Gamma, Firehazard 105, Tech Gaming, Slim Jim, Lord Bows II, Joe Laughs, Dust the Moat, Gay Local Adult with Autism, BC Gamer, Jessica Shepard, Ricky Spell, Ricky Tiki Tabby, Flippity Floppity, Joe's on My Property, Ruben the Steel Angel, Harmon Smith hates Android girls and their father figures. Okay. Cyrus 6771, Tutexican 940, Ziggity Creed Warrior 23, Max the Chev, Chep! Totally Insane Joe, why are you peeing in Gara's mouth? I don't want to talk about it, bro. If Gara gave me something that made me think his mouth was a urinal, is that my fault? Is that my fault if Gara gave me that? I don't think so. Night of Cypher, ML04, Wolf of Midnight, EKW, Steve Wynn Studios, Phil McCracken, Ohm Gaming, Tariq Brown, Dort's Game, Magnex, Severin Evans, Mrs. Brian 03, Calendar, Freaking White Maker, Pow Pow, Donnie Weston, Gob Gonson, Rogue Winter 919, Zach Thing, Hammond for Hire, Elden Noble, Frost Crystal, Scruffy Skull, Roast Ho, Ryusagi, Raptor Tim, Rosef 94, When in Doubt, Face the Wind, Wank It Out, Discord.gg/doofus, 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 Mr. Techno Squeak, Jody Pettis, Minnie McAdvertisement, Diego Garcia, Kibikins, Iron American Idiot, Harmon Smith. Oh my god, why do I do that? Why do I do that? Why do I do that? Oh no, it's Justin, Rand, Rui, Tooney, Wayne, Extreme Wolf 7, Retro, Westa, Dylan Cease for Cy Young 2026. I actually think Logan Gilbert for Cy Young 2026. Veg, Groove Banana, Kern Allenspach, Saul Hatton, insert shameless plug. The Seattle Mariners. The Seattle Mariners need a plug for me. You know, the Seattle Mariners need a plug from me. Because it seems like that's the only fucking way that we can have any kind of relief pitching right now. If you've got a Mariners, what was that tweet I saw? If you've got a Mariners jersey and a baseball glove, report to Chicago because you're pitching relief for the Mariners right now. What is going on? Anyways, fuck my toodles.